My name is Alexander Yusufu, and I'm from Group 1. We'll summarize about persona, survey, and interview about food review apps. For the persona, we have two types of persona, who is foodies and blogger, and the other is health conscious individual. For the persona A, they want to explore the different foods and want to create an engaging food content. So, persona A is important in efficiency to find a new food and exciting about food experience to share with the audience. For the persona B, they want to find a nutritious and well-balanced food and want to maintain their healthy lifestyle. So, persona B may need on focusing on the detailed information about food nutritional value. So, persona A, who is a foodie and food blogger, and mainly in efficiency of food finding. For the persona B, who is a health conscious individual and prioritize on detailed food nutritional information. On the survey, we have total 20 questions and about 16 respondents who already answer about our survey in Google Form. So, to summarize about our survey, all of our correspondents are students who have ever experienced in using food ordering apps such as Food Panda and GrabFood before. The majority of the respondents are open to eating new kind of food that they had never eat before, and all of them are agreed and like to eat delicious food. By the search and bookmark function may increase their view for the food. And some respondents having issue with allergy and they concern when picking their food. So, by showing the ingredient that used for the food may help them to find a food which are good for them. So, the majority are keen in the showing of the food ingredient, and they also have positive by having a bookmarking function food that they are interested in either restaurant or fast food. Next, interview. We have three customer who is Ruben, Tamil, and Rao that have already mentioned in our project A report and consistently suggest about our system with positive feedback regarding the app various aspect. So the user mentioned about the app usability is of navigation and reliability. So finding food based on preference, they suggest need to quick, good feedback and dynamic order updates. Additionally, feedback system need to be user friendly, so making it too easy for customer to share their experience. So overall, the finding suggests a positive user experience is providing variable opinion for further improvement and optimization of our food review app in Project B. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Ronald Ronnie Cutting, and now I will present the user evaluation for our project B. Our first user evaluation method that we have used is think aloud. Here are the tasks required for the users to fulfill in this interview, in this evaluation. And here is our materials and equipment. And our notable material for this one is the hi-fi prototype. Our participants for this user evaluation is Melissa Elizabeth Marcus, Lucas Ronnie Ebelkating, and Rafaeus Rao Ramarao. For the procedure for thinking aloud, the participant is given a laptop that contains our hi-fi prototype, and the participant is then given instructions to deliver their thoughts and first impressions whenever executing the tasks that we have given as shown before. And if the participant is having difficulties navigating the system as it is their first time doing it, then we will help them to clear this problem. However, we would note this down as a type of problem for potential new beginners. The examiner, aka us, then writes down any comments and criticism made by the participants while completing these tasks. The examiner would also write down any difficulties faced by the participants during examination of their when they are executing the task. Here are the findings that will be presented in the analysis section of our presentation. For our second evaluation, we have gone with card sorting. For this task, the participants are required to evaluate the card given and then sort these cards and group them into categories. And we will then interview them on the thought process behind the actions on why they categorize the cards the way they do. The materials we use for this user evaluation, eh, most notably, is the card sorting website, which is useful for doing card sorting. Our participants are the same, and for the procedure, we give the participant our laptop that contains the card sorting website, and the participant is given the set of cards, and we ask them to categorize them however they wish. And after the participant has categorized every card, we would then question their reason and logic on why they sort the cards the way they do. For the first participant, this is how they have sorted their card, and this is their reason, which will be explained in the analysis. This is the second participant's sorting of the cards, and finally the third participant's sorting of the cards. And finally, for our third evaluation, we have gone with heuristic evaluation. In heuristic evaluation, our participants are asked to evaluate the prototype's interface according to the 10 usability heuristics, which determines a good system. And we would write down what they have said to us into uh, uh, into our devices essentially. And for this evaluation, we the most notable equipment is the materials are the hi-fi prototype and the 10 usability heuristics. Our participants are the same, and the procedure is what I had given before. And these are the findings, and this will be explained more in the analyst section of our procedure. And with that, I hope I will give the next presenter the chance to present their part of this report. Thank you for listening to me.
Hello, my name is Nur Lukman Hakim Dinoide, and I will do about analysis of user evaluation. So as you can see in this slide, the user reviews aim to evaluate the usability and user satisfaction of recently launched food review application. So our main goal here is to identify the strength and the weakness of the existing design and make some improvement to correspond the user expectation and needed. And so we used to combination of usability testing and user survey. So there's around 5 to 10 participants that help us to do the survey. So by reflecting the app's target audience. So in usability testing, that includes a common task such as search engine application, platform evaluation, and gathering information about the potential improvement. The majority of the participants were tech-savvy individuals with their previous food apps experience. So from the positive aspect, the user appreciate the app's intuitive navigation and sleek design. There are still some of the user who are struggling with the initial setup process, especially with the featured inside. There's still kind of evaluation that have been done by this project, which are think aloud, card sorting, and heuristic evaluation. So let's go with the first evaluation, which is think aloud. From the participant one, they say the background image used from the prototype is too blurry and distracting, and they say about the registration and password verification code is not really detailed, whether the user phone or number or email they want. So the participant also said that verifying user emails would benefit the system. But then the perspective from participant 2, they say the prototype features are necessary and standard in modern application. However, they were confused about the assessment part of the task and say the prototype should have been sectioned where we could create an assessment description. So participant two also say the maximum number of word and of the review, title, descriptions also should be stated. So that the push notification did not specifically whether they were sent by phone or email. Lastly, they will say about the navigate system of the prototype is well because they have the same type of experience using the similar application before. Then we go to the next part. Okay, for the next part is about card sorting. Based on what the previous thing we do in the user evaluation, we are giving them card and the participant will arrange the card based on their preference. So from this perspective, participant one choose to arrange the app's application featured where the main button are starting with the user profile, find your food, review, and followed by the design. If the user click the profile item, then the next item that will show under the profile such as username, password, favorite, setting, and logout. Next, for the next icon, they will show about the allergen specification, search by name, and search by location. And then inside the review icon, there is an item for post review. Lastly, the design icon, there is arrangement with the featured location of for the food review that is designed by the participant one. Meanwhile, from participant two perception, I'm sorry, there are only three main icon that we select for the arrangement. We start from user profile, find your food, design. So usually we shown in the user profile, such as username, password, favorite allergen specification, and post review. To add on, to find your food area, there's a review button, and lastly, the design icon will have search name and search by location. So we go to the next point of view. Okay. Next, we go to the next point of view, which is the participant one found the system visibility responsive and appropriate. However, it lacked of a redirect to the main page, which make them confused in the right review function. Also, there is no error prevention or no editing feature, and so the symbol for the user profile is showing menu instead of bringing them to the profile. So next, they talk about the system flexibility and efficiency, which is commendable with elegant allocation of specification we featured. However, the participant had not strong feeling for the design, and they asked to focusing on the background image. They also noted that there is a lack of verification methods in the forgot password recovery function. So the system actually lacks of help and documentation, make it difficult to comment on lah. Next, about participant to perspective, which they found the system is visibility and prompts to be quick and accurate. They also appreciate the user control and freedom. However, they found it some tiresome to press back repeatedly to reach the home page. They really appreciate the consistency and standard, but they noted that there is a lack of error prevention featured, same as participant one said. So they want to add menu symbol for the user menu, and they like the allergen specification and location function, but they want it to be more expand and detailed. They really appreciate the aesthetic and minimalist design, but they note that we need for small warning message to prevent error. So they also suggest the tutorial for newcomers to provide guidance. So to be conclude, the study is actually is evaluate the usability and satisfaction food review application using usability testing and survey. And most of the participant actually quite satisfied with the design. However, there is some improvement that we need to do, so that in the future the user will actually doesn't have problem by using the design, the prototype. So that's all for me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Okay, so right now I will present for the high fidelity part, which in this slide we will present some improvement that have been made from the previous high fidelity prototype on the project A. There are some several changes that has been made according to the user and client suggestions. So first is the UI background and also the design. Second is language. Third is the additional prompt for warning or error. Fourth is accessibility. And the last one is some malicious function we add to the system. First is UI background and design. So for the project A prototype, we use the same background, which is a picture, but in this case, we remove the picture for all other pages except for the main page. So we choose the white background, and the reason we chose white is the color is bright, but also easier for user to see the writings that has been made by the reviewers. Also, the color but for the button, which Usually we use the brighter color for continue or some functions that led to other pages. Alright, so for the language part, we use English as the main language for the system. For the first prototype, we use some complex grammar writing, but for the latest prototype high fidelity project here, we only use basic grammar. So user can understand all the functions that they need or that they can do when using the system. Alright, moving on to the prompt, we add the new function based on the user suggestion, which to let the user know the action that they have been made when using the system. For example, here when the user delete the review they made, so a prompt will be occur and say the review successfully deleted. So the user can only click continue and cannot do other tasks before clicking the continue. The second example is if the user write more than 140 words, the system will prompt and output say the review length must not exceed 140 words. On the accessibility function, if user want to go to the main page again, they can click the food review icon. So they don't need to hustle back to click the back button repeatedly many times. Meanwhile, the user icon will show another sidebar with some other several functions for the user use. Alright, so moving on, this is the miscellaneous function we add to the system based on the suggestion of clients. First is the delete function. So user can delete the review they has made, and also they can edit the review they made if they want to make any changes on their profile of reviews.
Last but not least, I'm going to talk about conclusion based on participant 1, 2, and 3, and everything all in one. First, the usability testing and survey conducted on food review app is good, and then participant age 18 to 35 tech survey with previous food experience was a bit better for them, and then the appreciation of intuitive navigation, slick design. Some of them users struggle with initial setup and issues with prototype blurry background. The most common one was everyone was talking about the background is a bit blurry, but for us it looks a bit fine. And then they say the it's a bit unclear verification code and lack of assessment discretion, lack of error prevention, and editing features noted. And then we also give them a lot of feedbacks about what they say, and then we give them the feedback after we rewrite or correct it back. Request for more help and documentation, aesthetic design appreciated, and suggestion for tutorial for newcomers. And then the best part about everyone is they suggest us to give another tutorial for the newcomers, so it will be easy access for them. Thank you.